And one of the things about Judge Gorsuch, he is, I think, widely viewed as one of the best writers on the courts of appeals. He's a brilliant writer, and he takes a great deal of pride and care in making sure that his opinions communicate why a case comes out the way it does to the litigants themselves, right? The idea is that the litigants themselves, not just their lawyers, should be able to understand why a case comes out the way it does, and that takes a lot of time. He himself was a law clerk to both Justices Kennedy and Justice Byron White. So it was certainly something he had experience with. When people say, "Oh, he's an originalist," what does that mean? My reaction to that is that it doesn't mean the same thing it might have meant 30 years ago. That nowadays, it is a common touchstone for judges across the spectrum to use that kind of originalist frame, and in particular to focus on the text, to really be concerned about what does the text say and how does the text bound the sort of set of acceptable outcomes in a case. In terms of the balance of the court, it is tempting to act as if judges are not complicated, but in fact, any judge has a series of decisions across different issue areas, and judges like Judge Gorsuch, they take the law seriously, and they follow the law to wherever it leads them. And so that leads to some results that might have a political valence that is liberal, some that might have a political valence that's conservative, and Judge Gorsuch is not worried about that. So he's just following the law. So he has had cases, he has upheld, he wrote a decision that upheld Colorado's renewable portfolio standard, a requirement that a certain amount of electricity be generated from renewable sources. He upheld that against a constitutional challenge. And so, he's got, I referenced the Board of Immigration Appeals, where in several cases he's actually ruled against the Board of Immigration Appeals in favor of those who are facing potential removal from the United States. He's written a series of criminal decisions where he has actually ruled in favor of a criminal defendant that was claiming that their Fourth Amendment rights had been violated. Now, he's written decisions that come out the other way as well on all these issues. And I think what that indicates is that the facts of the particular case really matter to him, and I would expect that to continue on the court. The actual facts of the case and the arguments that the lawyers in that case make matter a lot to him. He's 49, and so he is likely to be on the court a long time, and so that gives him an opportunity to really develop an approach on the court to being a justice. There's also an element of how will he relate to his colleagues, perhaps. Now, there's a number of justices on the court now who are younger, because we've had a series of 4 appointments in the last 2 administrations, the Bush and Obama administrations. And so, I would expect that he would have pretty good relationships with, Justice Kagan, Justice Sotomayor. He knows them, and I think they're personally friendly, and I think that those will be kind of long-term relationships that are actually very productive for American jurisprudence. When I was clerking for him, liked to run after work around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So he'd come in and say, who wants to go running? And then, we'd run out around Cherry Creek in Denver, and we'd talk about, just about anything. Most of his clerks are not from Colorado, and so he takes a great deal of pride in his home state, and so he spends a lot of time with the clerks outdoors, skiing. He loves to ski, hiking. He likes to fly fish. He was phenomenal to work with. He is. I always say that one of the best decisions I ever made was when I accepted his offer of a clerkship.